All right. Okay, so we had to get back into it. Had to take a break, come back. But so um, I'm just gonna get into the next question, which the next two questions kind of go hand in hand, so you can, answer them as freely as you would like. But what are five things that you have learned during this process, as well as what are five things you wished you knew before starting your journey on entrepreneurship? And it doesn't necessarily have to be like five and five. Like you could just give us up to five, or really however many you can give
Whew, this is a good question. Like I had to take a deep breath on that. So five things that I would say I've learned is patience, still learning, transparently,
us.
um, faith over fear.
Hmm.
It can be very, like sometimes fearful to pursue an industry, pursue a vision that, nobody believes in but you, or nobody can't see but you.
Hmm.
Sometimes the enemy likes to try to make us scared of what God has called us to do. So that would be the second one. But then it will lead me to my next one of, something I learned is that God qualifies he how does they say he qualifies the uncalled the he
Hmm.
how does how it go he
He
calls
qualifies
the
the
unqualified, he calls the unqualified,
and vice versa. He will get you
vice
what you
versa, right,
need.
right. So God qualifies the I'm trying to say, girl, I gotta edit this without the baby. But I'm trying to say, but yes, so that as well as persistence,
Hmm.
determination, and
Hmm.
resilience, baby. So let me repeat
Okay.
again since that other was a little choppy. So something that I definitely have, like five things that I've definitely been learning on a journey is that God qualifies or calls the unqualified, faith over fear, baby,
Hmm.
um, patience,
Hmm.
determination, and persistence. Like entrepreneurship,
Period.
I just want to say is not for everybody. I just want to make that
Honestly, though, yeah.
transparent right now. And it's nothing, and that's
Hmm.
okay. I think we are now in a generation where everybody feels like, I have to own a business or I have to be an entrepreneur. Nobody want to work a 9 to 5. Nobody want to work in the traditional, industries. But
Hmm.
everybody's purposes is different. Like, and I'm
Hmm.
learning that, and I respect that. I don't care if you're a janitor, a principal, you work at fast food, you're a lawyer, a doctor. Baby,
Okay.
everybody's roles is needed. So
Hmm.
entrepreneurship is a role, and it's a industry that is not, or a calling that is not for everybody because it takes a level of discipline and faith to keep pursuing something that sometimes you can't even see. Transparently, sometimes I can't even see where God taking me, which results in me being frustrated sometimes or just,
Hmm.
kind of discouraged. Like, man, like I can't see anything. Nothing is working out for my favor. Like,
Hmm.
God, why me? Like I know you told me that you called me to do this. You equipped me. You told me that this is my purpose. Why is
Right.
nothing not working out? But that's why I say I learned
Hmm.
patience because it's not our timing, it's in God's timing. And we don't
Hmm.
know when his timing is. Like, we hear all the celebrities, influencers, a lot of the greats talk about, it's about timing. It like, and some people start late in the game in their 30s, 40s, 50s,
Hmm.
60s, and become successful.
Hmm.
Perfect example, Steve Harvey, Tabitha
Hmm.
Brown. They started late in their journeys, and God still made them successful later in their years. So
Yeah.
definitely patience is kind of my top one because I feel like I've been in, this space for 5 years. It's like, okay, God, why not? But
Hmm.
God can make it 5, 10, 15. It's up to him, baby. It's not up to
Yeah.
me. So that's a lesson that I'm learning and trying to be still in and be grounded in even more. It's just that timing. So those would be like the five things that I definitely have learned so far on
Hmm.
my, 2 year spree of full time. But those other 3 years they counted. But these past 2 years, I would count it as a 2 year journey because right, 2018 is when I founded it, but I didn't go full time till 2021. So
Hmm.
it's been a two intentional years. Five things that I wish I've known before becoming an entrepreneur was about business and entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
So
Right.
that's one of the first things is I'm first generation entrepreneur in my family. I was on a call on a panel the other day And one of my cohort members with Black Ambition, she said a real good quote or something that she learned. She was saying how over the years, something that she's learned is that there's a huge difference between a small business and a startup company. And I am learning that. So a small business, we're not knocking side, I don't knock people's side hustles or anything or small business,
Mm-hmm.
but something I wish I known along my journey is that like right the just business fundamentals and skills like that owning a business is far greater just than just a skill set or a passion that's going to fade
Mm-hmm.
away. You have to really know your why because it's going to be days where sometimes you don't even believe in yourself and you pulling on God or you talking to people in your network or community like man, I'm feeling these growing pains, and that's what I like. I would lead that to the next point. Those growing pains or the of your journey. Like I just posted
Mm-hmm.
on my Instagram. I like to do photo dumps. I'm kind of in the season where I ain't telling too much. I'm just expressing through pictures and little posts
For
and
sure.
everything
Yep.
for my journey.
Mm-hmm.
But I was expressing myself, saying how I'm at a point in my journey now where I'm really feeling the pressure of my purpose. So I'm feeling it
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like it's getting real. So who
Mm-hmm.
much is given, much is required, and I'm feeling those growing pains. I'm feeling, those attacks, those tests. But that just validates me knowing that I'm on the right, I'm in alignment because
Mm-hmm.
the enemy wouldn't attack anybody who he knows isn't doing anything great or making any progress or
Mm-hmm.
about to really change and shake up the world and provide a service of such purpose and hope and fulfillment to other people and as well. So that would be another thing that I wish I knew before, becoming a business owner is business fundamentals, mainly in just right the difference between a small business and a startup company, as
Mm-hmm.
well as I wish I would have known. Let's see, another thing I wish I would have known is hmm, that it's okay to start like make uh small beginnings add
Great.
up to big
Yeah.
to big steps. So that's
Mm-hmm.
something I wish I would have known also. Like I feel like as an entrepreneur, I put a lot of pressure on myself for, the industry I'm in and to get things done and to do other things, but sometimes I have to remind myself that small steps equal big outcomes. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just like again with that patience and not rushing it, but understanding that
Mm-hmm.
everything counts and is going to add up to the bigger picture in the mission. Sometimes, when I do things, it's just like I'm hard on myself, but other times I'm like, okay, I got this, da da da, but it's all going to add up to the bigger picture. And the last thing I
Mm-hmm.
would say too, the thing I wish I knew, before being an entrepreneur is that your best looks different every day. Like showing up and doing your best, that looks different every day. For me,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes my best is locking in on my computer for like 5 hours or doing something, busting it down all day, getting deliverables done, responding to emails, thinking of different
Mm-hmm.
creative things with my business model, my business plan, doing it all
Mm-hmm.
day. And sometimes my best is responding back to two important emails from people who I know have the potential to take me to the next level or different
Right.
connections I have and going through and cleaning out my emails. And that's
Mm-hmm.
all. Some days my best is just not even it's disconnecting from the work and grounding myself, sitting outside, praying, reading some books to help my mental because it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, like I said, with starting saying how entrepreneurship isn't for everybody, it's very demanding. And it's just like, those seasons of refinement where you're really trying to build this vision and nobody kind of sees the passion or sees the end goal like you see it because it's your baby and,
Mm-hmm.
it's your vision. It gets kind of
Mm-hmm.
tough. So it's a lot of lessons that I feel like I wish I would have known, but I'm learning. And last thing I would say that um, I wish I would have known, but also tying it in to kind of conclude this question of something that I wish I would have known, or something that I know with being an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur is um, that dang, I just lost my train of thought with that because it was gonna be good, baby, because it would have helped set somebody free. Look, I'd be like, God, please bring it back to my mind because I just
Right.
had a brain fry from what I just said, because I'm like, ooh, that would have been good to let somebody know those gems. But let me. It'll probably come back to me because that
Yeah, and if
look.
it
I
does,
just
just
look.
interrupt me at any
Right,
point in
right,
time. I'm just like, I got it. I'm like,
right,
okay,
right. Brain fries, long
go
day at
for
work
it.
today, baby.
No, I understand. I
I
understand. But
go,
again, thank you for your time.
oh, girl,
Thank you for
no
your
problem.
time.
Anything you do, baby, I'm supporting. I'm here for it. So
And vice
yes,
versa.
baby.
You already know how it goes. But speaking of, so you had said two things in your when you're answering those two questions. One of them was when you were talking about to whom much is given, so much is required, right? It reminded me of one of like my favorite gospel songs by Marvin Sapp. It's called Close. And he literally says
Mm,
that. He's like, to whom so much is given, so much is required. And then the next verse is the qualified must go through the fire. And
mm.
so
That's
that
what I was trying to say
resonated.
earlier.
Yeah, that definitely that definitely resonates because it's like, like you said, when God called you to do something, that you can't run from it. And so when you are dealing with the idea and the actual like living through your purpose, just whether you're, I'm saying, already in it, whether you're trying to get to it, um, it takes a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand that struggle. And like I think anybody could relate to you with that on any account, just because to whom much is given, so much is required. Like you have to give a
Yeah,
lot out to get a lot back. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um, and then the other thing that you said, um, goodness, it was that, and then it was I can't remember either. But I do also want to comment on when you were saying, right? So it's flowing and it's going. Period.
Yeah, yeah.
When you had talked about being persistent,
Mm,
that's another thing I think that people too, just in life in general, but especially when you're trying to, you know, go into entrepreneurship or start whatever that thing is that God's telling you to start, um, can be hard because it's like you said, when you were saying you were like asking like God, like, I'm saying, like you put this on my heart, like we was about to get into it, like what's happening, you know what I'm saying? That's like really, really real. And to even note again what you were saying with God's timing, it's always, 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 always divine. Like what we think we might need now might be so much sweeter 5 years from now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like just holding out and being persistent and keep that push and that drive going because you know that what I'm saying, like the greater the end is going to look greater than what
mm.
currently
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
And even if the current part looks good, it's still even keeping up with that. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
things come in
yeah.
season. So it's like if you're in a winning season right now, still be persistent with talking to God and praying to God and thanking Him and still looking forward because on the turn when you have a downfall season or like you just have a moment where you're plateaued, you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna still need that energy to carry you over from that winning season. So
Yep. Mm-hmm.
all good points, literally hitting the nail on the head
Yeah,
for me,
yeah,
Mookie.
yeah, girl. That's good. That's good stuff right there, baby.
Okay. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
period. So my next question you kind of already answered, but I might try to like flip it to where we are currently in the conversation. But it was, how do you feel that God has shaped you slash prepared you for where you are in your journey? And I feel like you kind of spoke on that. So instead of that, I'll say, um, how do you feel that God has shaped you for this in general? Not necessarily like your journey, like you've worked us through how he's done it literally, but like kind of almost going back to the question of what did it feel like when he told you? Like, how do you feel like he shaped you for it? Or how do you feel like he's currently molding you, if that makes sense? Like, is he giving you wisdom so you can pass that on to your kids? Is he giving you more physical strength so that, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that.
That is a really great question. Excuse me, no congestion. So God, one thing I can say, He's definitely given me wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but He's also given me understanding of what season I'm in. So just how you talked about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
how how life happens and different things come in seasons. He's really
Mm-hmm.
given me like just that comfort and clarity in the season that I'm currently in. So while I'm in
Mm-hmm.
this, I wouldn't say down season, but I'm in my waiting season. I'm in my, preparing era, how people say my waiting era, waiting on my breakthrough that I know is going to come. Um,
Mm-hmm.
God has been allowing me to do a lot of inner work. I talked a lot about right the logical, the physical of the business. The I did this, I worked on it, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like a lot of people don't highlight the work internally that it takes. Also, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like on this journey, I definitely become more like grounded in really been a wellness advocate, understanding that wellness is the foundation with anything that I do. If I'm not well in my mind, body, and soul, I can't be well to do what he has called me to do, which is, working in the
100%.
childcare industry, helping people, serving people, and leading
Mm-hmm.
people. Like, so I've been really getting challenged. I'm in a point in my journey where I've really been getting challenged in three different areas. And I was just talking with my friends about this today. You get, and this I would say you get because it just comes with the territory of being an entrepreneur, even when you're on any type of mission trying to pursue something greater than yourself. Challenges in your
Mm-hmm.
faith at times, with family and finances. It's just like enemy knows
Mm-hmm.
what to attack in those three different areas because that's our livelihood. That's how we sustain ourselves. That's who we are born. What, like, family, that's our very first friends, like the relationships that is our
Mm-hmm.
foundation, our legacy, our things, finances, how we get through and navigate this world and create a living for ourselves, our faith, what we're grounded in, a higher something bigger than ourselves, believing in something. They said if you don't believe in anything, you'll fall for anything.
Hello.
I believe that's how it goes. So it's just like,
Yeah,
having
basically.
that, yeah. So those different areas, God has granted me a lot of clarity, understanding, wisdom, and self awareness and growth internally. Like, I've been really
Mm-hmm.
been persistent on my journey of just self discovery, of healing, because it's more internal than people think. It's more of a mindset. It's more of perception than people think when you're on these journeys of elevation and trying to be something. It has
Mm-hmm.
very little to do, like I said, again, with your skill set and your passion. If that's just what you're grounded on, making the money, just having the skill or the talent and the passion, that will not sustain you as an entrepreneur, because sometimes you ain't even gonna feel that. Sometimes you're not gonna feel worthy or qualified enough to do what you want to do when you don't got 100 no's, or everybody that you're reaching
Mm-hmm.
out to, or all the things that you applied to was rejections. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to believe in your why and pull on something bigger than yourself. Like me, we believe in God, we believe in Jesus, like we believe in,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're grounded in. That's our faith, that's our source of, life, of connection to pull on when we are weak. Like, God is our strength.
Absolutely.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, like in those low times, it's just like that's who I really be having for real. And then just that self awareness and that internal growth, reading a lot of books,
Mm-hmm.
journaling a lot, like really just trying to
Mm-hmm.
dive into me. I'm back now on the Stoper grounds and trying to pursue therapy, like find a new therapist after relocating back to
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina, which has been challenging, but I'm excited for the challenge because I
Mm-hmm.
know that's what I need at this point in my journey to help me be a better, more effective leader with what I'm doing. So the internal work is definitely, what I could see outside of the actual physical work of my purpose of what I'm doing. It's a lot of internal stuff that God has been
Mm-hmm.
reshaping, pruning, molding, chipping away, revealing to me that I need to know before He takes me to that next dimension and next level.
Right. And that's um important too, because like you said, a lot of people aren't really like vocal about their like silent battles either. You know what I mean? So it takes a lot to be vulnerable, just in any space. And so I'm glad you touched that because it is like something that a lot of people don't talk about. Like a lot of people will, kind of wait until they've already made, which low key I be doing. So I guess I'm kind of like calling myself out on this, but I find myself just being more prone to, or I've noticed, I guess, based off what I'm about to say, is that I find myself, even with my Talk to Him Tuesday episodes, just in general, like explaining how God brought me through something versus kind of like filming or doing videos that are like while I'm going through the process. So, of course, I'm going to give him his credit because without him, I'm saying I wouldn't have been able to get through it. But I think that I'll take that tip for myself is just to become more like conscious of being vulnerable, like while I'm in the moment, because
Yeah,
not only does
yeah,
how you start and how you end help people, but while you're in the middle can probably be the most crucial part. You know what I'm saying? Just to know that
yeah,
other people know, like, dang, like I'm not the only person who feels like this. Like I'm not the only person who wants to quit today. I'm not the only person who wants to just lay in bed. You know what I'm saying? So that was definitely really real. So shout out to you
yeah.
because I'm
Yes, I
like,
love that.
Jada, you
Yeah.
low key do that, Mookie. Like, you know?
No,
And
it's okay.
journaling,
Yeah, yes,
journaling,
girl.
journaling, journaling. I literally like. changed my life. I haven't like before now, because I think I've been journaling probably like for like a couple months now, and just doing it, like the amount of release you don't even realize you're releasing is crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's definitely your blank canvas where you are the artist of just putting
like,
all of your thoughts as your art on that page. And that's how I can explain journaling. It's a release, it's your
yeah.
canvas to write out all of your feelings, emotional,
Mm-hmm.
uninterrupted, unjudged.
Mm-hmm.
It is your safe space. Like those pieces of paper is your safe space. So
Mm-hmm.
I
And you don't
encourage
have to be
anybody. It's just,
organized.
yes, you
You know,
don't.
like it's
You
like
don't.
I literally would be in there like today the sky's blue. And also I feel like like it's just
Just letting it
releasing.
go,
Like,
releasing it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah. And oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, you mentioning vulnerability really kind of like confirmed a lot to me. So I was in church the other Sunday, and God put in my spirit about vulnerability. So I'm really glad that resonated with you because like God put that in my spirit in service the other Sunday about me being more vulnerable on my
Mm-hmm.
journey. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you get at a certain point on your entrepreneur journey when you're trying to build, your company or build and work on your vision to get that breakthrough in that moment where
Mm-hmm.
things are hard, like, and you get kind of isolated. You don't want to share.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the type. I'm a fall back. I don't want to talk about it with anybody. I'm gonna process it on my own time, like journal it, pray it out, go to church, do our thing. But if it's
Yeah.
all, but God, when He put it in my spirit about being more vulnerable, it kind of
Mm-hmm.
convicted me because I was just like, dang, I really don't be like
Mm-hmm.
sharing some of the hard, points of my journey or just being transparent with somebody because
Mm-hmm.
I know the power of how that can free somebody. With what I'm like, my pain can really like help heal or comfort somebody else because one
Yeah.
thing I know for sure is that the enemy be trying to make us think that we're going through stuff alone. And when I tell
Mm-hmm.
you everybody is going through something, like when I
Mm-hmm.
listen to podcasts and all the things, it just really comforts me because like, okay, you're not the only person going through this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like you are just like other people on their journey, just trying to figure it out. So why not be vulnerability and really understand? Why not be vulnerable? Excuse me, and understanding that vulnerability does not equal weakness. That's one thing that I had to
Yeah.
resonate,
Mm-hmm.
like that resonated with me and God put in my spirit. Vulnerability does not equal weakness. It
Mm-hmm.
actually equals strength. It actually equals
Mm-hmm.
freedom. It actually equals courage. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
equal like that guilt, shame, weakness that you think about. Like when you tell
Embarrassment.
somebody
Yeah.
right embarrassment, that's not what that is. That's what
Mm-hmm.
the world try to make it seem like when people telling they experience feelings, emotions that it equals those things. But honestly, it equals strength that you can share something real vulnerable about
Mm-hmm.
yourself with people and feel so free to share it because some people like to hide. They like to make themselves feel perfect. They like to make it seem
Right.
like they ain't going through look almost cursed, like they ain't going through nothing. But it's just like but it's like, baby, I
Yeah.
take my pride. I put on Instagram. I feel like I'm a push an initiative or just a word. I call myself an authenticity
Yeah.
enthusiast. I love
Mm-hmm.
all things real. I love being
Mm-hmm.
real. I'm a real person. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
why sometimes everybody isn't meant to be connected to me or be in my presence because I'm too real for
Mm-hmm.
the fake stuff. Like I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't be fake. Like that's just not in me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I stand on morals, values, truth, and just being
Mm-hmm.
authentic to who I am and who God has called me to be. So some people who ain't ready for that, God ain't allow them to continue to be in my space, to be attached to me, connected to me. But when it
Right.
comes to vulnerability and being authentic, I take pride in that because it's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's too much fake stuff in the world going on, from the AI robots to the doggone people on the internet and social media and everything.
Yeah.
We
Like
need to
all
take
these
back this right.
COVID this, variant that, and over here in West Bumble is like this is happening. Like it's a lot going on all at once in
It's
this
too
world right now.
much. It's too much.
Like
So
it's
it's
too
just
much.
like, okay. So it's just like being grounded and being authentic to who I
Mm-hmm.
am. God has called me to be. It's transparently, it's a new journey for me. Like even me talking, and I'm so happy God put that in your spirit to, ask me to be a part of your Talk to Me Tuesday because
No, for
I've
sure.
been in my isolation season. Like I've been
Mm-hmm.
in my season of, just not really posting much on social media and just doing the work because
Mm-hmm.
I've just seen what social media has evolved to be, and I ain't really effing with it. Like I don't really care for it like that. I want to use it
Yeah.
as a tool to
Right.
inspire, to encourage, to motivate people to do other things. But baby,
Hmm.
I ain't about to be using this as like my primary, like at least right now, like trying to really use it with negative, intentions and like ill intentions and everything. So vulnerability is for me, like I'm glad that resonated with you because it does equal strength, courage,
For
um,
sure.
it equals like all those things aside from what society has made it seem like it equals. So,
Right.
accountability to me, I want to be more vulnerable, even if you have offline, you could choose to be selective with how you want to be or when you want to be vulnerable with people. It don't got to
Right.
be
For
on
sure.
social media. It could be when we at
Hmm.
lunch or something having conversations, or
Yeah.
when you're in an intimate setting with a group of girls or anything, or
Hmm.
on a platform where God, allow you to be on your journey, but just being grounded in that and just understand that it's okay to, speak your truth and,
For
be real
sure.
with it for sure.
Yeah. 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 This is just so great. Like I literally cannot even wait. Like when I tell you I'm hitting like I'm going through rewatching, like I'm clicking, I'm adding, like we're post, like this has to go up immediately because I just feel like it's just too good. Like it's just too good. Like so um I got two more questions for you, I believe. Um and that'll be as far as questions. And then, I definitely also want you to shout out like any of your social medias, how you want people to reach you, because I know you mentioned earlier that you're like, looking for people. So definitely make sure, or you can do that right now if you want to. Actually, just let people know, like, do your plug.
Yeah, for sure. So you all can follow my business page, Nesting Nannies on Instagram. NESTINGNANNIES, Nesting Nannies.
Period.
And you can visit our website to learn more about the business, what we do at www.thenestingnannies.com. And you can
Mm-hmm.
follow me on my personal Instagram to, really follow my journey, my personal journey. At
Mm-hmm.
it's Jasmine Lynn underscore my homegirl Jordan. That's not my middle name, but my friend Jordan, she called me Jazzy Lynn. So I put that as my Instagram name because, it just flows
Jordan
and
is
I want to
literally
switch it up.
legendary with giving nicknames.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so on my personal page, that is a account that you all can follow just to get to learn more about me and see the realness of me. I am a real person, and I believe that God has made me a woman in business, and I don't
mm-hmm.
really identify myself with just solely being a businesswoman where all I'm pumping, eat, breathing, and sleeping is business, business, business. On my page,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a person. I'm Jasmine Godbolt, and God has called me to, pursue the passion and the company of Nest and
Mm-hmm.
Nannies. So those are two different entities. So
Right.
when you follow me on my personal page, baby, that's the real me. When you follow the business page, baby, that's Nest
That's the
and
business
Nannies,
me.
and that's
Yeah.
right. That's the business page. So both of them will be, I'm trying to do a little content here and there, but it's just whatever
Period. And
come to
she be
my
doing
heart.
it. And
Yes,
she be doing it.
it's what comes to my heart, when I
Yeah.
post stuff and just share. But yeah, definitely feel free to connect and follow and learn more about the journeys and what I got going on in my life and with the business.
Yeah. Definitely, y'all don't miss the boat. As I said, like I'm telling you, this is some good stuff. Like this girl's really gonna be somebody. Like she already is somebody, but like
For
that
the world to
evolution is
see one day,
real.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
coming.
the
It's
evolution is
coming.
real.
Yeah.
So
And I
I'm,
can't wait to watch. Oh,
you
I'm
know,
sorry. I'm so excited too. I just say I can't wait to watch back on this video when it happens, and I'm gonna definitely like it. Just like this moment
hello.
is very confirming for me too. Like and I
Yeah,
always say just thank you for letting like hearing God and allowing Him to guide you and ask me to do this because it's gonna be one of those moments where it's like we're gonna look back and be like, wow, remember we did this. I
literally.
have so
I'm gonna
much,
text you be like, Jazz, like
yes,
you check this
yes,
off, you check that off.
yes,
Like, we made it,
yes,
baby.
yes.
Like,
Yeah,
okay,
right. Champagne
okay.
showers.
Okay, like might have to do a wraparound. Like, but how does
Okay.
it feel to be where you are today?
Right.
Like,
After the live, after the talk to them Tuesday. How does it feel?
like we yeah, it's definitely some big stuff. I just know it. So definitely excited. Like I'm just so excited this to go up. I just really just believe that this is just gonna. I don't even necessarily know. I just what I do know because I was about to say a lot of things. I got excited. So what I do
Me
know
too.
for sure is that this video was probably gonna be two videos, but this whole interview as a whole is going to literally change people's lives. Like I just know it. Like I don't know how, I don't know what they're gonna catch on to or what they're gonna hear, but like I just like this is just all very intentional, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like you said, like authentic and real. Like there's nothing like
Mm-hmm.
nobody's, you know what I'm saying? I didn't send you these questions beforehand. Like our discussion isn't based off of what we're trying to get people to hear, what we think people might like to hear. Like it's real. So and I definitely 100% like that carries through the video. So I'm just excited. I'm just very excited.
Yes.
So next question before the last question. Um, it is where do you see yourself? And then I put a slash nesting nannies in the years to come. And I didn't put a number because would you know what I'm saying? Like you could take off tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like for me to tell you 5 years, I'm not God. I don't know. You know? So where do you see
Mhm.
yourself in the years to come, days, months to come? Like what as far as like Jasmine the person, and then as far as like your company nesting nannies. I
Yeah.
know that you will obviously, be combined, but
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that is such a great question. I definitely see, I could start with myself. In the coming, months, quarters, years, I would say by next year, I could see myself being in a whole different situation that I'm in right now. Like transparently, I'm in one of the like toughest seasons of my journey right now with just right, like I said, being challenged in those three different areas that start with the F, family, faith, and finances.
mm-hmm.
So it's like I could see that working out for my good, with me continue to be persistent, resilient, and really just being obedient to God and like what He's called me to do. I see myself
Mm-hmm.
growing more as a person, as an individual, as a leader,
Mm-hmm.
as a woman. We're in our mid 20s. It's so much that we're
Yes.
learning. It's so much
Mm-hmm.
that we don't know yet, and I see myself
Right.
mature in that space so I could be the best version of myself that God has called me to be. I see myself really getting back in the field with teaching. I don't know why God put that on my spirit to, just get back
Okay.
into the classroom, not in the sense of a
Mm-hmm.
full teacher, but like maybe
Right.
doing like certain classes at high schools or colleges, talking to
Mm-hmm.
students. Like I definitely see myself as an individual getting back into my speaking bag. And this was good that you had
Mm-hmm.
me, come up here and join to speak for your
Yeah.
talk to Tuesday because it's kind of really getting me back and I feel of how it is to be engaged with an interview style conversation doing all the things because I've really been
Yeah.
isolated, quiet, just not really talking
Yeah.
through what I've been going through, which transparently in a spirit of vulnerability. I'm
Mm-hmm.
intentionally working on that, like how to be a better communicator, like how to
Right.
express my
Yes.
emotions and feelings and all of those things more
Yes.
because I firmly believe that if I don't work on these things now in this wait and see, then it's going to affect me as a leader when God puts me in that position, when I step into my
Mm-hmm.
answered prayers. Because again, if He's giving me the people, He's fulfilling and answering the prayers that I have prayed and cried and interceded about. He is going to require me to level up, and I'm going to reach a new level to be required to meet God at the area where He's called me to be where I asked to be. And that,
Mm-hmm.
right, like we
Yeah.
already talked about before, is not also always with a skill set, with a company or anything. It's a lot of internal stuff. If I can't, you
Yeah.
know, be fulfilled or have a good mental health internally, I won't be able to be
Mm-hmm.
fulfilled and do have a good mental health for the people who are, serving me and working for my company. So I want to be whole in that
Right.
area. I see myself being whole in all of those areas, mind, body, and soul type stuff.
Amen. Come
Company
on. In
wise, I
Jesus'
definitely
name.
see yes. Company wise, I definitely see Nest and Nannies already locking in and pursuing, our first pilot program to get that proof of concept. I see more
Mm-hmm.
opportunities opening for us. I see the fall cohort being a group of individuals who I pray for, who I'm praying for now to be the right
Mm-hmm.
people, not all people, but the right people who to, want me to lead them in this mission that we're on, which is providing this childcare service to student parents and working families in um, different environments, corporations, nonprofits, for trainings, conferences, all the things that,
Mm-hmm.
college campuses, everything, like all the visions that God has put inside of my spirit. I see us leading in that space. I see me like, really being an advocate for the childcare industry on a government level. I see
Mm-hmm.
myself talking to, like government officials and being a spokesperson in these rooms to really highlight the childcare crisis going on and really share the actual tangible solution I have to this
Mm-hmm.
problem. I see God continuing to grow me and help me evolve into a woman who is more bold, confident, articulate in my words and all the things that I gain that clarity. So when he puts me in these spaces, I'm not fearful. I'm not feeling like I'm undeserving. I'm not feeling like I'm, I shouldn't be here. I'm not feeling like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't do like don't deserve it and all the things. I'm feeling like I deserve everything that is about to come my way, and I'm
Right.
confident in that. And I have people in my
Mm-hmm.
circle who support me in that. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, I definitely see, my life changing for the greater when that breakthrough happens. It's just like right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on me internally, working on a
Yeah.
business
Mm-hmm.
internally with internal stuff and external stuff,
Yeah.
recruiting a team and doing all of that. But it's all going to work out in my favor because just the other things that are aligning for me behind the scenes is just like confirmation to know that that breakthrough is coming. Because like God, like you ain't gonna be having me go through all of this stuff I'm going through for no reason. So I know that
Right.
breakthrough is gonna
100%.
come. Yeah, he just still working on me internally and mind, body, and soul type stuff to really prepare for that new dimension, that elevation that he's about to take me to. So yeah.
Yeah, that's real. I feel all of that for sure. Like, which is crazy because it's like Jazz, like really like low key the same person. Like I've been working on, my
I
communication
love
too,
it.
because it's like emotional intelligence is like I didn't realize how like big of a piece of a pie that is when it comes to relationships, like in general,
Yes.
until I was in it. You know what I'm saying? And I started experiencing things or going through situations where I was like, yo, like you got to work this out, Bookie. Like, like you got to
Yeah.
work it out, and not even necessarily for like the other person or other people. It's just that like you got to be like rooted. You know what I'm saying? So that way, like when the branches start forming, it's not on um. I forgot what the phrase is, but it's not like coming from soil that's not harvested well. And so
Mm.
that's just that's that's really real. I've been doing that too. So I definitely feel that. And I definitely also wanted to say that I think you getting back into roles where you're speaking to people is for sure needed because you really do have a voice that people need to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things where it's like when you talk, people are gonna listen because it's like I said, it's
Mm.
real, it's authentic, and it's just it's coming from a place of like it's interesting because it almost comes from a place of like you already know, but it's like you're still going through it. You know what I'm saying? Like if that makes sense. Like not that you're a know it all, but like you can speak the way that you speak is giving a pre form of encouragement or like a pre entryway into where you're going. And so like
Mm.
people who can really listen to that and tap into that,
Mm.
it's a gift. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank
So I
you. Ooh, I
for
needed that.
sure.
Thank you. Ooh, yes.
No, no, yeah, truly. Because it's like this whole conversation, which I really didn't expect it to be less, which is why I'm pretty sure God called me to choose you first. Because he, you know what I'm saying, obviously he knew. And I just, without a doubt, I was like, oh, for sure. Like, because I just, like I said, I just saw you posting those things on Instagram and like grinding and talking about, yourself and your current self and your future self. And I was just like, he just told me he was like, you need to get her on, like, do it.
Yeah.
So, I definitely feel that. That's really, really real. And my last question for you, which I feel like you kind of did this whole video has been advice for people in general, but it was so what advice would you give to somebody who aspires to, start their own business? Like after watching this video or while they're watching this video, what is something or a couple things that you would like to encourage them with or kind of prep them on, if you will, being that you are currently going through this experience?
Yeah. I would definitely say something I would leave somebody with who's interested in, pursuing entrepreneurship is be intentional with discovering your purpose. Like
Mm-hmm.
we have not been put on this earth to just lollygag and just do whatever we want to do and just have a ball.
Right.
Even though we have like,
Yeah.
we've been called to of course have a good time and do our things, but we've
Mm-hmm.
really been called for purpose on earth. That's why God keeps us here. That's why, He's put us here. So I would say be intentional about discovering what that is for you. A lot of people say that it ain't cliche, but figure out something you do that makes you feel like you're not working, that you love, all those things.
Yeah.
Like
No,
they say
that's
that.
yeah, that's
But
real.
that's really like how you
Mm-hmm.
discover your purpose. You get creative with
Yeah.
that. whether that be falling back from social media from a week to discover that, is whether it
Mm-hmm.
evaluating yourself, and journaling out different things. I heard a really good mentor tell me one time, ask yourself, what did your 10-year-old self like to do? And that has a lot to say with who God has called you to be.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
with me at 10 years old, I was a family babysitter. I was watching my little cousins at like 10 and just loving kids. So it just
Yeah.
makes sense with the industry I'm in of childcare, how it really stemmed from a childhood like pleasure of really liking children when I was a child. I just, they
Yeah.
always, attach themselves to me. I
Mm-hmm.
always work well with kids. I never have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
trouble. Like, I don't take no bull crap from kids because I am that person. Like, I'm not your
Right.
typical babysitter, childcare provider where it's like, oh my God, come here. So, like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to be a pushover and da 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 da.
Yeah.
No. Even when I was a teacher,
Right.
right? Even when I was a teacher, my class knew not to play with me, but they
Yeah.
knew that I loved them and I cared for them, and
Right.
we're gonna learn at the end of the day. And I want the best
Right.
out of y'all, and I want them to be the best version of themselves. So I cared about
Mm-hmm.
them in that way, which made them want to do their work, which made them respect me because they know that
Right.
I care. So that's the type of childcare provider I am, or even mentor type of person. I care. I love hard. So it may
Mm-hmm.
not be your typical pushover Google Gaga feel, but I'm a push you and I'm gonna encourage you because one thing God gifted me, I'll tell somebody also who well, my gift is just also discover what your spiritual gifts are. If people are into that, like, everybody has a spiritual gift, and mine is definitely,
Mm-hmm.
I would say like my nurturing spirit, just my
Mm-hmm.
demeanor of the type of person I am. Prayer is my spiritual gift. Talking to people and encouraging them is definitely a gift I have. So really
Mm-hmm.
discovering that, and it really all adds up, to really discovering what God has called you to do. But if you're interested in pursuing entrepreneurship, figure out your why and what you could contribute to the society.
Mm-hmm.
No shame to anybody outside of companies like t-shirts and stuff like that. We love a good
Mm-hmm.
t-shirt, but baby, that's not the only thing that's going to sustain us in this world. You need to be on
Right.
a social mission with a social impact, doing something to
Mm-hmm.
impact and something purposeful. We have enough
Right.
of t-shirt companies in this world. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
have enough of grind hard to make it on the
Right.
I ain't throwing no
Hustle
shade, but like,
hard. Don't
right,
quit. Yeah.
right. Like, and look, let me not discourage people. You could do that, but have a social
Right.
impact and a mission attached to that. Your hustle
Yeah.
hard, don't quit. Have that attached to you. Dedicating every Friday going to the high school or the middle school, mentoring boys and teaching them about
Right.
being gentlemen and teaching them about putting them on
Yeah.
game about stuff. Don't just have no T-shirt and don't be putting no action behind it. I told my brother that
Right.
too. You can have a passion to do these different things, but make sure
Mm-hmm.
you have a social impact attached to that. And that's really what's going to set you apart nowadays with
Mm-hmm.
just the entrepreneur ecosystem is really, pursuing a mission and a vision that is bigger than you, that has some type
Mm-hmm.
of social impact. Because we see now we have enough companies that are just doing stuff that is just like, all right, we already got enough tech companies, we already got enough, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. Do something with a little bit more depth and purpose,
Right.
and something that you enjoy to do, and it'll kind of work out that way with discovering your purpose of entrepreneurship, and you'll kind of build it off the that.
Yeah. No, for sure. Social impact is important because, like you said, and what I believe too, like when it comes to your purpose, it's definitely 100% bigger than you. Like it's like
Yes,
you're just the
yes,
tunnel. Like you said,
yeah,
it's like what God has told you to do, you're being used, and then like
yeah,
what comes from that is what really matters. So I
hmm,
definitely would agree. And that's something I don't think a lot of people talk about either is social impact. Like
yes, they
have something
don't.
that's not just
Yeah,
helping yourself, but
right,
like that other people can see. Because people are gonna be watching you regardless. You know what I
right,
mean? So it's like
right,
make it worth the watch, you know?
right,
So I think that
right.
that's
Yeah.
super dope. I like 1,000 times over. Thank you for taking the time to come on here. I am so excited to see what this is going to do for people because it did a lot for me, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy. Like y'all, this is literally like this girl is just so great. Like we got to bring you back. I feel like you could talk about anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And people are just gonna
baby.
listen. Like
Girl, let me know if you want. Look, I hop on it anytime you need me guest. I'm here for to support you and to share, just my
for
outlook
sure.
because, like I said, God is definitely preparing me to be back in the field. And mark my
Yeah.
words on this episode of Talk to Him Tuesday, He's
Period.
preparing me to be back in a
Yeah.
public, of breaking my silence, breaking my season of,
Hmm.
isolation, and just being in my shell, just, kind of going through
Yeah.
that stage. He's
Going into
going,
your butterfly
you
season.
right, my butterfly season.
Hmm.
That's what my favorite emoji was, my top emoji, because it's like, I'm knowing that's coming, like, me
Yeah.
getting back, share my experiences. He just gotta, I'm working on a little bit more internal stuff.
Hmm.
Before he can truly get me there. But he's preparing me for it slowly but surely,
Yeah.
and it's all going to come into fruition. I believe that for sure. So
I do
I'm
too. And I'm
honored
so
to be on
excited.
your platform, girl. I'm honored to be on your platform.
Thank you. Thank you. You're always welcome. Literally, like I mean that when I say it, like you're always welcome. So I just know it's just gonna be a good time, a good word, a good conversation. You know what I mean? So I definitely
Yes,
thank you so much. I am definitely excited to be watching you come out and when you like I said, we can do a wraparound. When you have your come out to your butterfly season, like we can definitely be back around and compare and
yes,
contrast
baby.
what we were talking about. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I'm
Maybe we can
just
do in
I'm
person
excited.
too one time. We can do it in
Yeah,
person.
get into
Yes,
it. Get into it.
yes, baby. We can
Um,
definitely make
but
that happen.
I'm so excited for you. And I just thank you. Like I don't know, like I just know this is gonna do so well. And I'm excited. I really am. Like I know that I know that I know this is just intentional. It's meant to be.
Yeah,
And then also just having it on camera is just
yeah.
even greater. So you like you said, can look back and be like literally like be like, yo, like God brought me from here to here. Like what I was talking about now, I'm no longer worried about what I was doing well here has been elevated. So I'm just excited
Mhm.
to continue to watch your journey and
Thank you.
you're gonna be great, dude. Like you're gonna be great.
Yes. Yes, thank you, God, in advance.
Okay. Okay, no,
But
for real.
yeah,
Like that's real.
yeah,
Um,
but girl, thank you for having me. I'm so excited, and again, I hope everyone has been impacted by your words and through your consistency and your discipline. Because it's
period.
definitely needed. Like I definitely respect and give you your flowers for being consistent with your series of just encouraging people and giving them motivation and just talking to them, baby. Let me talk to
Okay.
y'all.
On a Tuesday.
Right, on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday, honey, let me talk to you and send you some encouragement after you done got through that Monday.
Okay, as we're going into that Wednesday. Okay, period.
Hey, yes. And you know how it be.
Yeah,
But
that middle
yeah,
of the week,
thank
you
you, baby
like Jesus.
girl. Right,
No, for
but yeah, thank
sure.
you, girl.
Thank
I'm
you.
always
Thank
here to
y'all for
support.
watching.
Yes,
Of
yes.
course. Thank y'all for watching. I hope, well, I don't even have to hope. I know y'all are going to learn something from her for sure.
Mhm.
Like, and if you say you don't, you're lying. I'm just going to, this is what it is.
Yeah.
But as always, y'all, if it blessed you, please share it. Make sure y'all follow her. I'll be tagging her personal page and her business page. And we will see y'all next time. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.